Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your mid-April sort of update about the energies that are going on. So please allow me to send my blessings and my goodwill to you. I hope that you're all safe from harm and managing this period of time to the best that you can. Okay, and I hope all that you love are also safe from harm, and that one day that we realize that our prayers should be for all people to be free from harm. So I'm going to pull you 6 cards. Your additional guidance card is to the sea, so a little bit like the 6 of Swords. It's been very common for a lot of people to get like the Tower. Most people are getting the Tower, 7 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, like a feeling of being a little bit nowhere, not where you were and not where you want to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do this because I've been shuffling for ages. The readings are taking an awful long time to upload. 4 of Wands behind you. The gift is the 7 of Swords. The challenge is the 6 of Swords, which is to the Sea card. Other people's energy is the 9 of Cups. Page of Wands. And then 7 of Cups. So you get 2 7s showing up. Yeah. Things don't really complete themselves until we get to the 10s. The 7 of Swords as a gift really stands out to me, because the 7 of Swords is a shadow card. It's about unspoken things, things not being clear, you know, all those issues in our life that feels like uncompletions. And it's almost like, and it's not that it's ending in complete clarity, but as the gift, it would seem some Sagittarius are going through a huge psychic completion process. So we start to complete when we finish off unfinished business. So things become complete, stories conclude themselves, and then we feel free to move on to the next stage of our lives. Okay? In reality, we're always coming across incomplete stories. So behind you is the 4 of Wands. So quite a positive potential card here. The 4 of Wands tends to speak about new chapters, but the challenge is the 6 of Swords, and it's like it's a bit ironic to have a new chapter but be to the sea, and it's almost that things aren't able to come to conclusion. A lot of our lives have been interrupted. There's a lot of disturbances, a lot of, I guess, interference patterns from one stage to another, and it would seem that's the case for you. This 7 of Swords is the gift. Is very interesting. I'm very intrigued by what this is about, because the 7 of Swords is a gateway card. Beyond this lies his new life, but he's still looking behind these two swords. But because it's the gift, it's the potential to complete. You know, see whatever continually recurs in our mind. You know, we all have recurring thinking patterns. A recurring thinking pattern tends to point to some sort of storyline, some sort of theme in our life, some sort of issue in our life that's not being properly ended. And we don't need big dramas to end things, Sagittarius. We can do it ourselves. We can affirm messages like, this story, this storyline, this karmic link is now complete. We don't need to move mountains to change our lives. It's generally thinking patterns that we need to lay to rest. And that is your gift. The challenge of the Six of Swords means that you're a little bit in no man's land. Everyone's in no man's land, Sagittarius. I have not got one single reading, private, and my YouTube channel, that the theme is not about timing. I'm going to look for a connecting card between these two. Tell me the card that connects these, because it's very interesting. It's like some of you, if you're having to complete something, a part of you wants to and a part of you doesn't. Yeah, Five of Wands, head and heart, going in separate directions. The Five of Wands is a card, it's called Angst. Angst is about being in front of the unknown and being a little bit too scared. I don't like using the word scared. A little bit too apprehensive. Now, there's nothing wrong with fear. Fear is one of the ways that we keep safe in the world. It's almost some Sagittarius, there's a little bit of a story here about some of you are a little bit too worried to, there's some themes going on that you don't want to complete. So you're not allowing the Six of Swords to happen. You're not allowing the transition to the sea happens. Because with the Six of Swords, she's going to a new world. Yeah. But there's a little bit of, it's almost that you've got yourself in a little bit of a knot. And when we're in a knot, it's because there's a head and heart dilemma. It's that a part of you wants to complete and the other part wants to hold on. Is that not the human dilemma, Sagittarius, for all of us? And it's almost like, I want to put you in this boat because I want you to get to this new land. Now, other people's energy is a Nine of Cups. So some people look really, really happy in your life about something. So yeah, it's with the Ace of Cups. So other people's energy around you might be feeling quite emotionally fulfilled. Both of these cards represent the heart. Obviously, this is the Eye of the Divine. This one, the Nine of Cups, is very much about living through the heart, expressing themselves, being in very, very good cheer. Someone might just have heard about a new job, a new house, a new chapter. And it would seem to me, Sagittarius, you're in a little bit of a knot between the past and the future. Okay? The Page of Wands is walking right into this energy. So this is all about new possibilities. Definitely new possibilities about love, emotional fulfillment. But then you end in the Seven of Cups. Anything after the Seven of Cups, please? Because the Seven of Cups is very, very confusing card. It's not a bad card. I describe the Seven of Cups like a brain fog card. But brain fog has a very, very special function. Okay, everything has a function. When we're in confusion, it causes us to search for what's fundamental. Confusion serves a purpose, and it's all the lines get blurred, and the lines get blurred so our consciousness opens for one thing, so we can begin to gain this clarity and this vision. But I'm very, very confused at what the Seven of Cups is doing here, because it's about choices, and some of these choices aren't real and some of them very much are. And I don't know, for some of you this is an emotional choice. There might be some new opportunities, Sagittarius, and you're really, really struggling with to take these opportunities. Some of you are even sort of going, oh my gosh, is this what I want? Some of you might be offered this cup, and your head's telling you one thing and your heart's telling you the other thing. It's like, shall I go back to the past? Shall I keep going forward to the future? And the biggest struggle is being in the unknown. It's always everyone's biggest struggle. I tend to tell people to mind the gap, because when we're in a gap is when our minds go a bit crazy and they fill in all the possibilities, so we get ourselves more and more and more in a knot. What's after the Seven of Cups? I'm going to pull one card. See if I can get any clarity for you. Oh, you get the Wheel, which is a 10, which is a conclusion card. And what is it that's concluding? The Four of Cups, something to do with an emotional issue. The Four of Cups is a card of inertia, okay? Now we're all going to have a little bit of that energy at the moment because of the times that we live in. But I think it's a very interesting reading why these three cards are showing up. But Sagittarius is a little bit of your energy. It's almost like there's a future that lies ahead of you. And you're not sure whether you want to go forward to it or you want to go back. Okay? And because the Six of Swords is a challenge, it's almost some of you have got this analysis paralysis, which means you're trying to seek solutions in your mind, and no solutions can be found in your mind, because solutions come like the Tower card. It's like an epiphany. That's when our solutions come. Our solutions come by leaning into the unknown and allowing what wants to come. But most of us seek solutions in our mind. But the mind is a way to avoid the feelings and what needs to be cleared on an emotional level. I think this reading's bizarre, because look, Page of Wands is about new opportunities, offers, potentials, but there's all this energy about confusion, angst, looking into the unknown, fear of how it's all going to turn out for you. The outcome is the Wheel. So something is reaching a conclusion, some sort of destiny. Anything more about that Wheel? I'm sorry, I don't want to go too far ahead. It's with the Strength card. So this is Leo. It's also, where's she looking at? Okay. She's looking between this Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords, which is about going forward or going backwards. I think what's keeping most Sagittarius stuck, because really the greatest intelligence in this world, I mean, it comes through epiphany, but the body always knows what it wants. Our emotional centers know what they want, but we've been trained to try and think our way through things. And the more we try and think our way through things, the more we go around in repetitive knots. And that seems to be what the case is for you, Sagittarius. Give me a minute. I've not had to do this for anyone else. Most people's are pretty straightforward considering what we're going through. So you get the Breathe card, the Yang. Yeah, so the Breathe card is about wanting to push things. It's about slowing things down, trying not to be reactive. I'm being reactive, Sagittarius. I've definitely lost my emotional cool. I'm not proud of it, but there's a card about slowing things down. What's the hurry? You then get the Yang card, which is about moving into action. Definitely a Yes card. And then you get the Round and Round card. Really what's going on here, because that Yang card is about activity. The Breathe is about slowing things down. Nothing's working as it should do, and we're not in a normal cycle, Sagittarius, so we can't expect it to be that way. But I can't, there's almost like, there's a lot of angst, and there's a lot of brain activity. Yeah, Yang is a good example. Like I run every day, and it's a good way to give the body and the adrenal glands some expression. Then you get round and round, which is that feeling of I'm just going round and round in circles and I feel I'm not getting anywhere. So why the wheel then? What's that about? To be fair, which is a bit like the Justice card. You know, it's about things becoming balanced again. Like, I'm not sure where you are in the world. I think most Europeans were looking the end of April. If you're America, probably the end of May. So you've got a strange combination of cards. The Breathe card is about watching your reaction patterns. Honestly, Sagittarius, I've had it nearly every day. Yeah. Slowing everything down, moving into the body. The Yang card is about some sort of activity. Activities can be prayer. Activities can be an action. Prayer's an action. It's a kira. It's something that we do to help the world. And the round and round card does sort of, I mean, it's a beautiful card because it's a fossil and it's about how things develop over time. Sometimes it's a feeling of still being stuck, but I don't know if it means that way for you, because the fossil is really sticking out to me. And it might be speaking about this wheel. And the wheel really is about timing. And there might be a message for you. And the message is about grace, because everything happens in grace. But nothing really happens through the human will. We do actions, but everything is in this great stew of grace. So really, the best act that we can do, sometimes when we're in knots, and I had a feeling some of you were in knots, the best way out of it is just to accept I'm in knots at the moment. I'm not making sense, and I need to take a step back, or I need to take a step forward, but in a different way. And then you need to allow things to unfold through time, Sagittarius. And it's like some of you have got yourself in a little bit of a dilemma between the past and the future, and even facing the unknown and what lies ahead. And that's when the mind steps in, and it gives you all the worst possible scenarios, rather than doing the action and allowing time. You're going to have to allow time, Sagittarius. I think for fire signs, it must be a huge struggle at the moment. Huge struggle, because your energy is so outwardly focused, and suddenly you've been asked to stop and be very but you're not really, because there's actions you can take. They might not just be the actions of completion and making everything, you know, the cherry in the cake. It might be more about breaking ground, understanding how time evolves slowly, honouring the process, giving gratitude for the process. But Sagittarius, I particularly want you to look after your health, okay? And it's because of that Breathe card. Oh my gosh, I swear every day I pulled it, and I'm so reactive around people that I love, because everyone's a little bit stressed out. And really what I think you need to do, I think move out the head as soon as you can. Realise what you're facing is the unknown, and human beings fear the unknown. Take action when you can. And then allow this fossil, which is, it's about time. It's funny, I've never read that card that way, but all I see is the fossil. And fossils take millions of years to develop. And there's sort of a message about allowing time to unfold. It's almost like, what is the hurry? Because the world's in a one big pause right now. And we're going to get into trouble if we resist this process. Okay, Sagittarius, I think you got one of the most confusing readings, but I haven't done any of the fire signs yet. And I'm assuming most fire signs are going to be a little bit struggled with this, because everyone's life force has been held down. Doesn't have to be, yeah. 1 hour of prayers for a world is a yang activity. Yeah. All right, Sagittarius, much love to you. Bye.